published 17:35 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, the 4th of May 2018, updated 4:19 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, the 5th of May 2018. Low down on his leg, Ederson Morae has a tattoo of the Portuguese League trophy. During his 2 seasons at Benfica, he won it twice. Now the Manchester City goalkeeper is a Premier League winner, too. That's a hat-trick, 3 from 3. So the 24-year-old will have to make room for a new tattoo. He has 32 already, so he will have to look closely for space. Manchester City's Brazilian goalkeeper Ederson is getting set to add to his collection of tattoos, but first comes his chance to get his hands on the silver after Sunday's home game with Huddersfield. All season Pep Guardiola's City team have looked destined for this moment. They will win the Premier League by a mile and break numerous records by the time it finishes next weekend. Guardiola's decision to hand one of the most important positions in his team to a young goalkeeper with less than 18 months of real experience behind him has paid off, and Ederson believes that this season will one day prove to be just the start. "There is always room for improvement," said Ederson on Friday. "There doesn't exist a perfect team or a perfect player, but I think if we manage to play the same football we can conquer great things next season." Guardiola's men have conceded 26 goals this campaign as opposed to 39 last season. They play in a different way from most of the other teams. That helps us a lot when we play. I think it's a very beautiful style. I reckon the fans have really enjoyed watching us, and hopefully we will be able to keep the same level next season. This is the moment we have all been expecting to arrive. We won the title in advance, but the most pleasant and happiest part is now when they give us the trophy and we can share the moment with our families and our fans. I think it's going to be a great day for all City fans. It seems wrong somehow that a goalkeeper as proficient as this one should have risen from the crowd so quickly. Ederson was told at the age of 15 just 9 years ago by the director of São Paulo in Brazil that he would never make it in the game. Ederson cried over that one and then left home to try to make it in Portugal. So it was not until March 2016 that he finally made his bow as a top-flight goalkeeper. "I think it's going to be a great day for all City fans," Ederson said before City's title celebrations called in from the reserves by Benfica after the number 1 got injured before a Lisbon derby against Sporting. Ederson kept a clean sheet and stayed in goal as his team ran up 10 straight wins to win the title. "Maybe, then, we should not be surprised that he has taken to the Premier League so seamlessly. I think it's a matter of taking advantage of your opportunities in life," he said. "At Benfica, I started playing because the starting goalkeeper got injured. It went really well and the manager chose me to play for the rest of the championship. I had a great season, both in the Portuguese League and the Champions League. We ended up winning the league that season, the following season as well, so I think it's just a matter of taking advantage of the opportunities. I have tried to do that here at City." Guardiola first saw Ederson when Bayern Munich played Benfica in the Champions League. "When I started playing as a boy, a lot of people were asking, if you don't make it, what are you going to do? But in my head, I was always repeating to myself, I'm going to become a football player. There was no other choice. So, I made a lot of sacrifices. I fought a lot, I trained a lot, to be able to achieve everything I've got and to arrive where I am now." Guardiola first set his eyes on Ederson when his Bayern Munich team played Benfica in the Champions League in 2016. Ederson was only 22 and new to European football, but the way he was able to pass the ball accurately over short and long distances struck Guardiola enough to prompt an unscheduled team meeting. Ederson replaced 2 veteran goalkeepers at City in Claudio Bravo, left, and Joe Hart, right. "He is different, be careful," Guardiola told his players. Benfica lost at time 3-2 on aggregate, but Ederson played well and Guardiola did not forget what he had seen. "Yes, I think he saw me first in those 2 games in the Champions League between Benfica and Bayern," Ederson said. "Then, he came here and the rumours about Manchester City being interested in me started. I never really knew anything. I only kept working at Benfica. Then he signed me in the summer and thank God I was able to do a good season here at Manchester City. I'm very satisfied about that." Ederson liked his first year in England. He lives in Cheshire with wife Lice and daughter Yasmin, replacing Claudio Bravo, who had previously replaced Joe Hart at City for this season should have been daunting. Bravo, a seasoned titled international goalkeeper, had failed dismally to cope with what Guardiola wanted last year, and City's campaign crumbled around it. City's football starts at the back, and if the goalkeeper cannot cope with the responsibility, then the plan falls apart. Ederson claimed when we met on Friday that the task he faced last August was not a big deal. Nothing seems ever to have been a big deal for him. Maybe he was lucky enough to be born with a strong mind, or maybe it is that the years traveling on 3 buses to training every morning before school in Brazil have made him just grateful, rather than overawed, to have been handed such an opportunity. Ederson believes his upbringing in Brazil helps him cope with the pressure at CITYOF course that helped to shape me, he nodded. When I look back, I remember the difficult moments I had, the sacrifices I made to train when I was a kid. Now, when I look back, I thank God because all the stones he put on my path, now I'm able to use them to build my castle. But there is pressure, and of course I feel it. The pressure always exists, even more playing in such a great club as Manchester City, and especially for the way we play. I think you need to have a lot of personality to play that way. To start the build-up, to take risk in the passes without fear of making a mistake, but I like the way we play. I really enjoy taking risks, and I like the pressure too. I like trying a difficult pass. That's good, and that gives confidence to the players during the game. First and foremost, Ederson is a very good goalkeeper. His standard slipped a little during the tumultuous April week that saw Champions League defeats at Liverpool sandwich a Premier League meltdown at home to Manchester United. Ederson won the league twice during his time with Benfica in the Portuguese league. Ederson described what happened to City that day as blackouts. Apart from that, his standards have been exemplary. City have conceded 26 goals this campaign as opposed to 39 last season, so the improvement is clear. Ederson is not overly tall. His official measurement of 6 feet 2 inches seems generous, but he is broad and powerful. He has huge biceps and round shoulders, like a rugby second row. It is, though, the finesse and accuracy of his passing and long kicking that has so enamored many critics. Ederson was a full-back as a boy. He eventually asked to go in goal at his boyhood club, and his distribution for City prompted Sky analyst Gary Neville to say that he could play in midfield in the Premier League. Ederson does not hide from the compliment. His hero as a boy was the Brazilian goalkeeper Rogério Ceni, who scored more than 100 times for Sao Paulo, mainly from free kicks and penalties. Ederson was a full-back as a boy. He eventually asked to go in goal at his boyhood club. They already have players in the team to kick the penalties and the free kicks, so it won't be me, he laughed. I always train as a goalkeeper. I never train outside the goal. My goal is to defend our goal, save shots and not concede goals, but one thing that could happen is to score a goal from my penalty box to the other box directly. I already scored 2 that way when I was at the Benfica Academy. If I was able to repeat that here, which would be very unusual, it would make me really happy. Ederson appears to have enjoyed his first year in England. He lives in Cheshire with his wife Lise and baby daughter Yasmin. My parents and family have always been my main support, he said. They always encouraged me and helped me to pursue my goals. I left Brazil when I was young and they gave me a lot of strength. It's never easy for a 15-year-old being far away from his parents. Thanks to the strength and support, I felt strong and determined to reach my goals. His hero as a boy was Brazilian keeper Rogério Ceni, who scored over 100 times for Sao Paulo. Sao Paulo's former number 1 would score his goals from free kicks and penalties in 23-year career. Now, I'm here at Manchester City. We are Premier League winners. So I feel that this win doesn't belong just to me, but also to my parents and my wife. On the field, City's Premier League success has been coming for so long that it also feels as though other great stories have overtaken it. Liverpool, for example, will contest a Champions League final in Kiev against Real Madrid at the end of the month. That is unfortunate for City and a little unfair, as Guardiola's team have been the standout unit over the last 9 months, and we should not forget that. They have set new standards from front to back. Ederson would appear to be a cornerstone of what may come next, and it is clear that domestic trophies will not be enough next time. I don't think you can compare what happened in the Premier League and what happened in the Champions League, he said. In the European competition, when the knockout rounds start, it's always 50-50. Liverpool must be pleased because they have reached the final, but we focus on ourselves and we don't look at what they have done. Our goal at the beginning of the season was to reach the Champions League final. We didn't achieve it and we ended up focusing on the Premier League. Life goes on and next season we will try to win the 4 trophies that are in play.